How's it going, peeps? Welcome back to Viva La Coin. I am Joe. I will be your host for today's episode as we do a little deep dive on what I believe is one of the most underappreciated, undervalued cryptos in this space right now, and that is Cosmos and the ecosystem that this blockchain supports. Now, this isn't one of your flashy Ethereum type cryptos that you bump into someone on the street that's all about cryptocurrency and they're like, oh, my favorite one's Cosmos. It doesn't come up a lot. However, they do a bunch behind the scenes for many other well-known cryptocurrencies. So we're going to explore a little bit about how that works, what they aim to do as a crypto, and what I think is up the road a little bit for them in the future. Now, if you could, I would appreciate you sharing this video. We are over 100 subscribers, but I had this crazy thought and thought, maybe by the time I get through wearing all my Hawaiian shirts a second time, maybe we could get to 200. And with all the big stuff happening throughout April, I think that that is absolutely possible. So if I do bring you value, if you do enjoy the content we put out, smash like on the video, share this to people in your life that you think would benefit. And ultimately, I'm happy to have you along on the ride. So let's go ahead and jump into the video here. And I'm going to go ahead and minimize myself. And you should be able to see everything. So let's just go onto the list of the top blockchains in crypto right now. Now, keep in mind, I always mention there is now very close to 9,000 different cryptocurrencies. This number is a little small up top, but there's 8,968 cryptocurrencies currently on CoinMarketCap, which is one of the websites that I use to break down different token metrics and different cryptocurrency metrics to see how they're performing and what the available opportunity is. And most of them are absolute hot garbage. So if you go in and people will say, oh, crypto is going up, it's a bull run, you can throw a dart and whatever you hit, it's going to go up. Well, that's not necessarily the case. So just be cautious if you go to this website and you're digging around. I do believe it is good for people to explore. But when we go down this list, most of the top 100 projects always have some type of utility or a good team or at least some previous success in the cryptocurrency space. And right around the 25th, 26th spot, here we go. So Cosmos is sitting right below the top 25 with a total valuation of $4 billion, almost on the nose. It was a little bit higher before our flash crash back in February with CME futures coming back up on that date. So when we look at the size of the cryptocurrency, they are large. They're not a small cap cryptocurrency with less than $1 billion in market cap. However, I do believe they are severely undervalued for what they do. So if we look at the cryptocurrency in general, right now Cosmos is $19 on the nose per Cosmos crypto token. So for Cosmos, they have a circulating supply that is much less than even Polkadot that has slightly under $1 billion. They have 212 million circulating currently. And again, it isn't capped out, so it isn't a hard set supply. But with that total supply being much lower than your other cryptocurrencies, the potential as they go up in price in their use case, I think that there is a nice return on investment if more people buy them and there is further adoption with that being said. So if we look at where their price was over the course of this year so far, they were pretty stagnant all throughout the middle of last year, all the way up until we started 2021. And then something happened and there was a massive, massive run up and they went from right around at that time, they were trading around $6 going into the start of this year. They popped all the way up at the absolute peak to right around $25, $26. And like I said, they're sitting right at 19. So they maintained a lot of that value. It didn't sell off by 50, 60%. And they just sit there and they're struggling to get by. So I'm going to explain what happened at this point and why I think that we're going to see another leg similar to this one upward and onward as we move forward. But in order to understand why this occurred and why Cosmos is undervalued, in my opinion, first we need to look at what is Cosmos in general. So Cosmos has a very unique thing that they are trying to do. So Other networks are trying to build different cryptocurrencies and things on top of their network and incorporate different tokens, or Ethereum's blowing up right now with all the NFTs. Cosmos and their approach is they want to create a connected ecosystem of blockchains. So not just bringing different projects onto their blockchain, but connect various blockchains so that they can speak to each other and almost make this big connected web of blockchains throughout the space. And if they are successful in doing this, they could have a use case that far outreaches many other projects right now in crypto. And when we look at when their main net or their operations really kicked into effect in creating an IBC, which is an inter-blockchain communication network, that just occurred in February. So if we look at the price, what happened right before February? Shot straight through the roof and went from that $6, $7 all the way up to 26, and is still sitting there. Now that update, and hopefully this doesn't time my computer out, is known as Stargate. Now Stargate, you can see there's no time until liftoff when it goes out, and that's the protocol that ties all these different blockchains together. But let's look a little bit at some background info at what is Cosmos, give a little introduction on them first, and point out a couple problems that they intend to solve by connecting all these blockchains. Now, some of those problems may sound familiar after we've talked about Ethereum and some of these other blockchains struggling with them. So, strictly speaking, Cosmos is a decentralized network of independent parallel blockchains, each powered by a consensus algorithm like Tendermint, which is just one of their consensus protocols. And in other words, Cosmos is an ecosystem of blockchains that can scale and interoperate with each other. Before Cosmos, blockchains were separate, so they couldn't communicate their information back and forth. They were hard to build on, and they could only handle a small amount of transactions per second. Cosmos solves these problems with a new technical vision. In order to understand this vision, we need to go back to the fundamentals of blockchain technology. So on their site, they give a whole breakdown of what is blockchain, and they talk a little bit about broader blockchain ecosystems with Bitcoin and Ethereum. If that information is new to you, or you're new to the channel, go back about a month. Some of the first videos that we put up was covering a video on what is blockchain, and then we go into Bitcoin and Ethereum specifically, and we discuss their blockchains as well. It's good starter information, and it's a nice foundation for everyone to get caught up to speed. But three limitations are really what the Cosmos team is focusing on. So limitation one is scalability. So when you're trying to scale or make a network larger or incorporate more things, decentralized applications built on top of Ethereum are inhibited by a shared rate of 15 transactions per second. This is due to the fact that Ethereum still uses a proof of work proof, essentially, and that Ethereum dapps compete for that limited resource on that single blockchain. So if you remember from my previous videos talking about Ethereum being a network that is having trouble scaling because they put the cart before the horse, all these different applications, or I guess decentralized applications, all these protocols that built themselves on top of Ethereum are all fighting for the very small amount of transactions that you can do per second. Imagine, like, you ever see those really congested, fucked up photos of like LA highways with traffic backed up in 10 directions, or like a whole city fleeing from a hurricane and there's just 15 lanes of traffic? That's kind of what the Ethereum network looks like right now. The second limitation is usability. So with the usability, it's typically relatively low in its flexibility granted to the developers. So when you're going in and trying to create these new projects and do new or innovative things, you're limited by what Ethereum will allow you to build. Now, it does go into different coding things on the site. I am not a coder, and keep in mind, again, I am not a financial advisor either. So I don't have the skill set to go into the different coding items. Just know that if I want to build new creative different things on a blockchain, sometimes it doesn't sync up well with that blockchain. And the third limitation is sovereignty. So, because they all share the same underlying environment, this creates two layers of governance, that of the application or whatever's built on top of it, and that of the underlying environment, which is the, let's say, Ethereum network. The former is limited by the latter. If there's a bug in the broader application, nothing can be done about it without the approval of Ethereum. So if I build something on Ethereum and then my protocol was messing up or my dApp doesn't work, I can't do anything. I need to address that with Ethereum. It slows everything down. It's just an additional limitation. So with Cosmos, what they want to do is make it easy for developers to build blockchains and break the barriers between blockchains, allowing them to transact with each other. The end goal is to create an internet of blockchains, a network of blockchains able to communicate with each other in a decentralized way. With Cosmos, blockchains can maintain sovereignty, process transactions quickly, and communicate with other blockchains in the ecosystem, making it optimal for a variety of use cases. So the problem that they're trying to solve is on full display with Ethereum right now on a global scale. So that all makes sense. What they're trying to do makes sense. But when we look at their value, and when I say they're undervalued, why would that be? So there are plenty of cryptos with amazing use cases that I don't believe are undervalued because they're not being utilized. And as you know, on this channel, one of the major things I hold of importance over not just like the network effect, whether people recognize the name, what the price is, it is, are they being utilized? Is there utility in the real world that people are building on this or using this system? And the answer is yes. So I pulled up, they have multiple page after page after page of different either applications or blockchains that are built with the Cosmos blockchain communication network. And these are all apps, blockchains, wallets, and explorers built in the Cosmos ecosystem by the developers and contributors from across the globe. Some of these are going to look familiar. So one, they were just added on Coinbase, Anchor. I'm a big fan of those, that specific crypto. The Binance Smart Chain, the entire Binance Smart Chain. That one I showed you in the last video that added $4 billion worth of value just because Ethereum is too slow to move those different projects through their system. The entire Binance Smart Chain is built with that Cosmos backing. So that use case in and of itself is enough for me to be incredibly excited about Cosmos, let alone all of these other projects. I pulled up a couple other larger, more recognizable ones. Crypto.com. They are, I believe they're right around the top 20 right now. Number 21 cryptocurrency in the world is built with Cosmos. They're more of a exchange, and they do like crypto credit cards and all this other stuff. They're doing a big token burn. I'm not a fan of Crypto.com, but I'm not going to go into that here. But that's another one. Big cryptocurrency built with Cosmos. And then there's more. So you have a couple different projects. Matic, I cover them. They just renamed themselves as Polygon and were added to Coinbase, built using Cosmos. Or Mirror Protocol, which has to do with derivatives. When you're building out, those types of assets, they're taking off this year, built with Cosmos. And it just goes on and on. Ren Protocol, which is on Coinbase. Larger cryptocurrency. They wrap Bitcoin so it can interact with different blockchains where otherwise it wouldn't be able to. They're built with the Cosmos ecosystem. Another massive one of the largest cryptos right now in the space, Terra Luna, built with Cosmos. So I start to look at all these different projects, and I look at Cosmos at just around $4 billion in market cap. And I then look at, let's say, even Binance and the Binance coin. Right now, the Binance coin in and of itself is worth $41 billion. That's incorporated into the Binance Smart Chain, which then has $17 billion worth of total value locked in their decentralized projects on the Binance Smart Chain. Them alone, is enough to make me excited about Cosmos, because as Cosmos scales and as it's used by projects like the Binance Smart Chain, their value is going to continue to increase because they have utility. The same thing with Terra Luna, who they had a little consolidation, which I mentioned in my Voyager altcoin video was likely to come. So pretty good entry point for anyone that was looking to get in. I think they might have a little bit more room to go, but they were down to like $16 when Bitcoin had its uh, last crash before CME futures last week. But they are already up to a $7 billion market cap, and they're built with the Cosmos network in their blockchain. So as all of these very large projects and just pages upon pages of them, I mean, I'm just pointing out a couple that are more well known, but they have dozens and dozens of blockchains and tokens and networks and applications that are built with this inter-blockchain communication in mind. As everything comes to a head and everything starts to connect to each other, and that big update that they had come through really starts to take hold, I think that Cosmos's price is going to reflect that. I couldn't imagine it not reflecting it. It would be like the blockchain and technology that connects and communicates everything wouldn't go up in value when all these projects shoot through the stratosphere in value. So it's one of my favorite cryptos. I do hold a fair amount of Cosmos. I also stake it. I do not stake it on Coinbase, but you should be able to see that if you, let me see if I can pull up Coinbase real quick. If you do go onto Coinbase and you pull up, let's say, your Cosmos, you actually have the ability to stake Cosmos in your application. So if you were to have Cosmos, you can stake it there, and I believe on Coinbase you can earn 5% APY for that Cosmos that you stake. And again, staking is just tying up your cryptocurrency in the protocol to help validate the network. But on most exchanges like Coinbase, it's very seamless. You're not doing anything manually. You just stake it. Now, I stake mine on Kraken. It's a different exchange that I use, but I get a 7% APY return on my staking. So that's why I choose to do it there. But they just have so many different things going for them that it's definitely one that I'm keeping my eye on, and one that I think is going to have a good rest of this bull run. I don't think they're done. And I think that once more people start to understand the amount of projects that they help to anchor, as well as those projects that they do tie together continue to go up in value, you're going to see good things from Cosmos in its price and its value, in my non-financial advice opinion. However, that was our episode for today. As always, if we did bring you any value, if you are new to the channel and you want to go back and view those other videos, keep liking the videos, share them, get more people on the channel. Let's get this in front of people and educate them. Aside from that, as always, it is a pleasure to have you on with me today on Viva La Coin, and I will catch you guys next time.